My absolute favorite American food is pancakes. Whenever I travel to the USA, it will be the very first meal on the very first date. Berries, lemon, chocolate, love it all. But as much as I enjoy pancake, there's also a problem. Having one stack of pancake with just one flavors, sometimes it can be a bit much. And same with many American restaurant food. For me at least, many dishes are often centered around one big thing. And halfway eating through it, without a change of flavor, sometimes it gets a bit monotonous. Maybe that's just my Chinese mindset, but wouldn't it be great if instead of one big cheeseburger or one stack of pancake, having multiple burgers with different flavors or many pancakes with different tastes? Well, Sichuan may have an answer to that question. In China, we don't have anything exactly the same as the American style pancake, of course, but in Sichuan, there's something that comes pretty close. It's called Danhonggao or egg baked cake. While there's no milk, the rest are just basically like an American style pancake. It's a mix of flour, egg, leavening agent, and not much else. But unlike American pancakes, the Sichuan one can be stuffed with a whole array of different fillings with flavors ranging from sweet to savory to spicy or all of them combined. So in this video, we'll show you how to make Danhonggao just like how you will see it on a afternoon street cart outside of a school in Chengdu, fillings and all. And besides that, we'll also take those fillings and put them onto some American style silver dollar pancake and see if that works too. But let's go over the Danhonggao first. And step 1 in making Danhonggao is, of course, the batter. Now, traditionally, this batter uses Chinese lao mian, which is sourdough or natural yeast, and then adds baking soda to balance out the acidity and leaven the pancake. But for this recipe, I just want to keep things simple and do a more than Sichuan home-cooked style, which instead of Chinese lao mian will be using a mix of yeast, baking soda, and baking powder. So first, we'll melt 100 gram brown sugar with 190 gram hot water. Stir until the sugars all dissolved, and when the water gets back down to room temperature, dissolve in 2 grams or half teaspoons of osmotolerant yeast into it. Then add in 2 eggs and whisk well until no stray strands remained. Then sieve in 200 grams of AP flour, mixing it by folding from the bottom and cut it back down onto the center, just like how you would mix a pancake batter. Once it's basically all mixed in like this, strain the batter through a sieve just to make sure there's no big clumps. Then cover and set this aside and let it ferment for an hour. Then, 1 hour later, come back, mix 2 gram baking soda and 1 gram baking powder with 10 gram water, fold in our batter, and then it's ready to make some Danhonggao. Real quick though, quick aside on equipment. For this one, you will want the smallest possible pan you can get your hands on. I have a little copper pan here that I got online, which is the pan in baking Danhonggao. It's 15 centimeters wide and smaller at the bottom. Chris was saying that a Bellini pan might work, but I also tried my hands at this, the Vietnamese and Thai breakfast egg pan. It's slightly bigger, but it just works great as well. And even our 6-inch cast iron skillet works, but because the surface is a little bit more porous, so it will end up being a little bit more oily and slightly less crispy on the edge, but it's just subtle, you can totally use it. Besides that, you will also want a pair of tweezers, a folded paper towel that's dipped in a minuscule amount of oil, and preferably a rack to lift our pan slightly above the stove. So, heat on medium-low then, heat up the pan, and once you can feel some warmth coming through, lift your pan up and take that oiled paper towel and give it a wipe. Then, scoop in 3 tablespoons worth of batter and quickly give it a swirl to create that signature crispy thin ring on the edge. Then, let the batter evenly cover the pan. Cover for 30 seconds, then we can add in our filling. For this one, we'll just keep it super basic to just show you the techniques. So we'll just be adding in some lao gama, which is a legit filling that they will use in Sichuan. Then cover it back up and bake for another 30 to 45 seconds. Remember to move the pan around to make sure it heats evenly when baking. Once you see the edge is slightly golden brown, use one end of your tweezer, gently slide it in between the edge and the pan. Loosen its bottom, then fold it over onto the filling. So then now we can just take it out, put it onto your serving plate, or alternatively, a paper box for that ultimate street food vibe. But we do definitely need to expand on those feelings, so this is what we whipped up today. Besides the lao gama that we just showed you, we also make nuts and sugar, which is basically the OG sweet filling. Minced pork with jia cai, that's another classic. Minced pork with sour pickle, long beans. Chicken with chili oil, and cream with pig floss. And a fusiony one with the Thai nam prick pao chili jam, some mayo, and more pig floss. So we'll show you these 3 right now, but if you want to know how to make all 7, check out the written recipes in the description box. So let's start with the savory one, pork and jia cai. To make it, just take 100 grams of minced pork and toss a quarter teaspoon each starch and soy sauce together with 1/8 teaspoon white pepper. Mix well and set aside. Then mince 20 grams of jia cai preserved mustard greens into 1/2 centimeter bits and set aside. Now, as always, Danhonggao. Get your wok piping hot, heat off, and add in 1 heaping tablespoon of oil. Then heat back on medium, toss in that 100 grams of minced pork. Break it up with your spatula and patiently fry until slightly golden brown and starting to release a little bit of oil. At this point, toss in the minced jia cai. Fry the 2 together for about 1 minute, then heat off and out. Filling number 1, done. Then next, let's show you the OG sweet filling. This sweet filling you not only see at Danhonggao but also in sweet baozi or Cantonese gokzai, deep fried flaky dumplings. So to make it, all we need is sugar, toasted peanuts, and toasted sesame seeds. So first, toss 10 grams of your toasted peanuts into a mortar, roughly pound it into 1/2 centimeter bits, then add in 20 gram granulated sugar into it, quickly pound it together with the peanut, then finally add in that 10 gram toasted sesame seeds, another quick pound to break the sesame kernels, and this is it, filling number 2, done. And finally, we'll have cream, 奶油, and pig floss. And there's something I should probably back up and explain. I call it cream, 奶油, but the cream, as they call it in old school Danhonggao, was actually meringue that's steamed to set. But as whipped cream getting more and more popular, it became the cream that you will get at many stands. And personally, I prefer whipped cream to meringue, so this is what we'll be using today. That said though, both me and Chris hate the stuff from the bottle, so we will actually whip our creams from scratch. So to make whipped cream, here we have 250 grams or 1 cup of cold heavy cream. Add in 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar and 1/8 teaspoon salt. First on low to incorporate our sugar, then turn to medium and whisk till we have a soft peak. Then add in quarter teaspoon vanilla extract and keep on whipping it on high until we have a stiff peak. And now the whipped cream is ready to be used. Keep it in the fridge until you are about to assemble it. As for pig floss, you should be able to find it at Asian supermarkets or online because it's a very popular snack / ingredients in many parts in Asia. And now we have these fillings ready, let's make a couple more of Danhonggao. So same as we showed you earlier in the video, heat up the pan, scoop in 3 tablespoons worth of batter in, cover and let it bake on medium-low for 30 seconds. Then put in the minced pork with jia cai. Cover and continue to bake for another 30 to 45 seconds. Carefully loosen the crispy edge, fold it up and take it out. Now for the mixed sugar and nut one, we'll put the fillings in after it's baked for 45 seconds because sweet fillings goes in later. Then a final 30-second bake and take it out. As for the whipped cream, it needs to go in at the very end. So at the 1.5 minute mark, shut off the heat, loosen the edge, transfer the pancake to a plate, then sprinkle in about 1 tablespoon of pig floss, and scoop or pipe in your whipped cream, about 1 tablespoon's worth, then fold it up, and this is done. And now you've got your various assortments of pancake fillings, just like how you would see on street carts in Sichuan. So then it comes to our other question. Will these fillings work on American-style silver dollar pancakes? Let's find out. So we'll have 3 categories of the fillings, which is definitely works on pancake, kind of works on pancake, not really works on pancake. First up, the jia cai and minced pork. So for the jia cai and minced pork one, I think it belongs to kind of works on pancake. It's slightly drier in this context in the open face silver dollar pancake. Next one. This is the cream and pig floss. I would assume that it will really work. Because whipped cream is already a super classic topping for pancakes, and now you're just topping it with some extra tasty bits. Of course it will work on pancake. Now this is the nuts and sugar one. Smells good though. So the nuts and sugar one, they taste like 2 completely separate things. So yeah, it doesn't work. I think it works in Danhonggao because you kind of bake it a little bit more, so it slightly melts. It's more moist. So for this one, that doesn't work. And then we have our lao gama. Lao gama definitely works. My one suggestion will be kind of spread it out a little bit so that you don't just bite into one big chunks of lao gama. But yeah, definitely works. Great. Okay. Now we have chicken with chili oil, which is poached chicken breast coated in a classic Sichuan liangban chili oil sauce. It's a very classic one in Sichuan, and it's one of the signature toppings in that very popular stand outside of Chengdu. So now let's see how it works on pancakes. As much as the chili oil with chicken is awesome within Danhonggao, somehow in this context, it kind of works, but not as good as like the really works one like lao gamas or creams and pig floss. So my guess is that if you shred your chicken into strings, it will work a lot better. And this is the minced pork with sour pickled long beans, another classics for Danhonggao. Let's see how this is on silver dollar. The minced pork with pickled long beans really hits that great sweet savory spot, so definitely works. I think it works better than the minced pork with jia cai. It's because pickled long beans, somehow there's a little bit more moisture. So when you bite into it, there's like a little bit more like a pouch of flavor. All right, our last one, the Thai non-prick pow chili jam with mayos and pig floss. We actually make this flavor of toast in Thailand pretty often. And it's also a classic street snack flavor there as well. So let's see if this works. Yeah, this one works because similar reason as lao gama, it's a sauce, but you kind of want to spread it out a little bit more so that you're not biting into big chunks. So going back to our earlier question, does this fillings work on American style silver dollar pancake? And I think the answer is yes, they work and works pretty well. And looking at it, maybe we just reverse engineered Bellini? Maybe. But with Sichuan flavors. Anyway, this is a super fun Sichuan street snack. I hope you can get your hands on and try it no matter on an actual Danhonggao or American style pancake. So check out the recipe in the description box. A big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon, and subscribe for more fun Chinese cooking videos. It is classic and popular for a reason. Oh yeah?
Hey.
Sure.
Have some on your days, Dave.